That's a lot, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I ought to really turn it around and give you $100 per, because you're going to have to do so much work on the front end. The more that I think about this, that I'm sick of myself right into the hole. Right.
YouTube, it's Aaron here, and I was actually on the phone with this client for a little bit, and we were just discussing, prices and terms, and I just, finished and I closed him for the prices that I want, and overall I was only able to get half of it because I was just on the phone, but I'm like, oh, I should just record this really quick. Hopefully this can help someone out. So beforehand, I told him my price. So I do a pay per lead type of structure, and he said, I told him my price of $100 per lead, which was on the invoice and all that. And he said he just simply can't afford it, simply can't afford it. So the very first thing I did, which is not on this call unfortunately, is made him see the value of it. So for example, for kitchen remodeling, I asked him like how much does he charge for a kitchen remodel, and he told me, in a long-winded way, he charges anywhere between $35,000 and $75,000 per kitchen remodel. And then I asked him, okay, if I got you 10 leads, how much would that be with my current price? And it was like a whopping $1,000. After that, I asked him, so isn't it worth, if you're able to sell 3 of these leads, that's $100,000 for you. But then what clients would like to do is, they see the value of it. They just brush it off. And he just said, I simply can't afford it. So this is actually a negotiation tactic. I just realized in my book, Never Split the Difference. Um, so I just saying, I simply can't afford it. I simply can't afford it. And you'll see, this is starting off from that point as well. Months. So,
Yes.
okay. So your main quarrel is that you think it's just too expensive.
Did you say my main quarrel?
Yeah, for like the
I'm not
price.
quarreling with you. I don't.
Or the main I don't okay, fine. Wrong choice of words, David, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm working to get us into a place where the words are clearly and utterly understood.
Okay.
What are you saying? My main
So
question is that I
so your
just can't
main
afford it.
yeah, so right now,
Okay,
even though
simple dimple.
okay. How about this? For the first month, I'll reduce it
Yeah.
to $75. I at first did reduce my price to $75. So the one thing I should have done here is just made it an uneven price. So instead of saying 75, it's just some like, $87, something like that, right? That's because you don't want, clients to see a pattern of a way that you reduce your price. Because if I reduce it by $25, then it makes sense that, oh, if you ask again, I will reduce it again by $25 or something like that, right? So overall, it is okay. It is fine to reduce your price. That's why I always say in the proposal, charge a little bit more than you're willing to, and then once you're on the call, the client is always going to ask for a reduction in price. So, you can reduce it from there. But be sure not to reduce it too much, because if you reduce it too much, that sets an anchor of like, if I said, oh, $50 a lead, now that's like, I can only go up so much high, I can only go much, and then he can still go lower than that, right? So I should have done like, something like $87 per lead. He would have been like, that's weird, but it would have been fine. But it still overall works out in the end. But it's still okay to give a price difference overall. But you're gonna see he's gonna try to lower the price he's gonna try to lower the price even lower. And after that, you'll see what I do to pretty much counteract that. And after that, if you're getting good amount of leads, if you're getting, happy, if you're happy with it, then we'll move back to 100. And that's another thing too. It could be just something that you do for the first month, so that way, you start getting results, and then once they start getting results, once they're happy with it, then you can move up the price. So one thing that he did say to me is that he's used to working with marketing companies that make a lot of promises and then they don't deliver, which is what a lot of local businesses deal with nowadays, unfortunately. So this is kind of where I'm coming from with that. Just okay, he's just mainly focused on if he's going to get return on ad spend, return on his money for the most part. So it's just a matter of just making him feel comfortable and, just saying that, showing him that I can get him the results. Once I get him the results, then I can charge him back the original price. But since we're just going to start with the email marketing, We don't
No.
have to worry about that at this moment right now. So,
Okay. And that's
but
every other week, and that's bi-weekly.
and just FYI, this client mainly wanted me to do email marketing for him for his campaigns and stuff. So that's another thing that I was going to go on. It's just, oh, we don't have to talk about Facebook ads now. Let's start with email marketing first and then, go from there. So that way, he understands and is okay with what I'm charging him for the email marketing and a little bit of SEO work I'm doing for him. Yeah, I was saying, let's just focus on the email marketing, then focus on Facebook later because, he wants to start Facebook, within by next month or so. So I was just like, let's just focus with the email marketing, and then when the next month comes around, maybe he'll have a change of heart. Maybe we'll make a better decision from there overall. So yeah, so if you offer other services your clients are interested in, make that the main focal point, and kind of distract them away from from the Facebook ads overall, even though it's still going to be a thing. You can always discuss it later. As more time goes by, they can think about it more, and then they'll see the value in it. Yeah, yeah. So that you would get billed for that because I can record how many leads that you have. But understand that after like even with 10 leads, if you're able to sell three of them, if they're
Oh my God, yeah.
$30,000, it's $100,000.
Listen, if
Yes.
we got 10 leads a month
Mm-hmm.
and we were able to sell three of them,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, I'd be kitty sitting pretty.
Exactly, right?
I'd be more than, we'd be kitty sitting pretty, and we'd be more than glad to pay the 100.
Mm-hmm.
The 100 would be the, probably. I want to start with $65 per lead per month for the first 2 months.
So for the first 2 months of Facebook ads, because you said you just want to start with email.
Correct.
So do you?
Correct. This is the Facebook. This is the Facebook ad. I mean, isn't that where you would want to? I mean, chances of us getting leads and being on Facebook are higher. Chances that they are quality leads
Mm-hmm.
are not necessarily higher.
That's
That's why
true.
we want
Yes.
to. That's why I want to see. We want to do some type of exactly what you're talking about,
Okay.
which is intensive Facebook targeting, research, etc., etc., etc. I That's intensive on you in the beginning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know, skip 65, 75. You're going to do a lot of work on the front end, looking at all this. The ad copy for split testing optimizations, which ad works best.
Mm-hmm.
Intensive Facebook targeting research, installing back-end software for conversion. That's a lot, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I ought to really turn it around and give you $100 per, because you're going to have to do so much work on the front end. The more that I think about this, that I'm sick of myself right into the hole. Great negotiator I am.
So you see just pretty much what happened there, right? He pretty much upsold himself. So pretty much he saw the value of my work as he was talking and talking, and then he was like, you know what? Let's go back to 75. Like, you know what? Let's go to 100. And then he even says that, I'm putting myself in a hole right here. So the key secret to that is just literally staying quiet. So what a lot of people would do is just be like, oh, okay, let's do 65. That's it. I'm done. So literally, I instead of doing that, I asked him more questions and I just stood quiet overall. And I was willing to go down to, I was gonna stick to 75, but because that's what I usually originally plan on anyway. But after this, he talks himself. He sees, all the things I listed and of the services I offer. And to him, that seems like a really complicated job. But for us digital marketers, we easily know how to install the back end of Pix. We easily know how to install the Facebook pixel. We easily know how to create good ad copy and do extensive split testing overall. But to clients, they don't know that, and it seems to them like a lot of hard work, especially when you use adjectives like intensive or like extensive, stuff like that. So that's the thing that I do teach to people who book a one-on-one time with me. I also give them my high converting proposal, because this is what the proposal does. It makes it seem that you are doing a lot of work, which you are doing a lot of work, but to the client it seems like a monumental task for them because they have no idea how to do it. But to you, you already know how to do it. So honestly, installing the pixel will take me like 5 minutes. I already have most of the ad copy since I've already run remodeling ads before for another client. So it's just a matter of just setting it up and putting it on all under his name and stuff like that, right? So that's the one key thing. You don't want to talk yourself into the hole. You want to let your clients do that. And by just literally staying silent and not talking about anything, then, clients are likely to do that overall, and making your proposal, really enticing. So, when they're looking at the price, they should also they should see a lot of different things listed as well. Well, to you, it may seem like it takes 1 minute to do, something. To the client, they may think it takes you 2 days to do something. So it's really important. So just having a good proposal combined with a good sales and negotiation skills, which is mostly just listening, asking questions, and being quiet at specific times. Clients will do this all the time. So as you will be able to hear in the rest of the conversation, everything else pretty much goes smoothly.
Yeah, we'll start with $100 a lead. Okay.
Okay.
And let's see what happens. Let's roll out. Let's roll that out. Let's do that part. Okay. So from creation of Facebook ad all the way down to likely to call you and not click off. That's serious stuff. That's certainly worth $100 a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Let's roll that in, and let's start that March 1.
March 1st? Okay. Yeah, so we'll focus on.
Let's do two of the Facebook. I'm sorry, two of the MailChimp bi-weekly. Let's do two of those in Feb. Okay.
Okay.
And how much is that if we just do two of those?
So yeah, that's just the same setup fee for everything. Because I would just set everything up just now, and
Right.
then as soon as it hits March 1st, I'm able to start the campaign just like that. So it was just
for Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. So like, even though we're not gonna get started till March 1st, I would still set everything up, within the month of February, so that way, as soon as it hits 12 a.m. March 1st, I'm ready. I'm ready to go for you.
Okay. Is MailChimp easy to set up? I would assume.
Very, very, very easy to set up. I can send you instructions on how to do
Very
that.
easy. Yeah, right. Whatever.
I can I can send you instructions as well. And just to give you just some brief history with this client, I've been talking to him for like around like a couple weeks at this point. He was always interested in with the Facebook ads, and he was actually the client who I actually got his Facebook page unblocked by Facebook, which included me going to access Facebook chat support. So overall, we know each other pretty well, so we can share a few laughs and stuff. So that's another thing too. Try to connect with your client, and again, provide value upfront. So me being able to unblock his Facebook page, which was not that hard, and it's surprising, is a full stack digital marketing agency. Before they couldn't do it, when I'm just a freelance guy, and just with a laptop in my room, I was able to do it fairly easily as well. So you can see how much value you guys can provide for a client. Just be aware that your goal with SMMA is not to make friends. It's to, deliver a high quality service and get paid to deliver it as well. So, don't be afraid to test the friendship, I guess, if the client's not paying the invoice, because some people will do that. They'll be all friendly and stuff with you, and then they'll just keep asking you for one little thing, and then they won't pay. So just the one little thing I did was unblocking his Facebook page, and now before I do anything else, it's time for him to pay, and clients know that as well. So just be aware of that, and overall, once I get the content,
you can send me a what? I'm sorry.
Instructions on how to set up MailChimp.
Yeah, well, I didn't do so well with Facebook, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good to go. Okay, we're good to go.
Great.
We're gonna do a bi-weekly, and let's see what happens. We may want to come back in March with with um, more email newsletter. But let's see. We'll start Feb with 2 of them, 450,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll come back in Feb, assuming in March, and we'll do the Facebook. We'll start the Facebook, and that's going to be $100 a lead,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Do you want me to sign something for you?
If you just go through the invoice on the Wix site, so yeah, that is pretty much it. The rest of the talk is just me explaining to him how to actually pay the invoice for the most part. Since I use, Wix, because I already have the website through Wix overall. But yeah, so and also know that the 100 per lead is just, for me, and he pays separately for the ad spend as well, and he's aware of that too. So yeah, that's pretty much just this quick closing call. I'm sorry I can only get half of it. But pretty much the main important part was just the saying the value of my service of like, if for $100 per lead, if you're able to sell, a $35,000 kitchen remodel, which he said was the low end, you're already making, that much return on profit. Usually it's like a 20% profit margin with them. So you can imagine that's like, between like $5,000 and $10,000 in profit for a kitchen remodeling job. So just, yeah, be aware of that. Don't immediately just succumb to what your client's saying. Try a few different tactics. And then after that, you can do a price drop, but make it uneven. So if you do $100, per lead, for example, or if you charge $1,000 per month, you can just say, okay, I'll do 985 for the month, and then just go down by uneven incremental amounts. So if you go down by like, let's say 5%, go down then by like 2.8%, something weird like that. So that way it throws off the pattern and it's unexpected to the client, makes them rethink, and then it makes them think that that's the final. Since it's that specific amount, there must be a reason why it's that specific amount. Because of that, they know that they can't really go down much further. But be quiet. Let the client talk, because they may talk themselves into an agreement, and they may, after talking, they may see the value of like what David did here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. And if you want to watch another breakdown, it should be in the upper right hand corner at this moment. See you guys in that video. Take care.